Today I'll be reacting to the Facebook Metaverse announcement and really commentating what's going on there. But first, I really want to show off just how much VRChat already does it and the beautiful worlds of it. In this case, this is something called the After Dark Arcade. It's a VRChat world and it looks absolutely gorgeous. A lot of what gets said in that presentation ends up just being a very shitty VRChat because the community has already done a lot of it and it's quite a beautiful thing. But the other thing I need to apologise for is the mic quality. I used the Rift S headset without really thinking about it and it sounds like complete arse. I will have to buy a new mic for it in the future. But thank you for watching, and this might be a long one, so...
To adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do. To reflect who we are and what we hope to build. I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
I hate this so much because they're literally just stealing it from older sci-fi to VR, and just the cultural zeitgeist. This is entirely trying to get people on board. Because one of the things I'm hearing is because they're no longer Facebook, they already own multiple other companies. There's no reason to be called Meta now.
Starting with the most important. Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually. It has...
Okay. Anyone who's been in VRChat, you don't have to imagine this. Especially since people can actually build their own homes in Unity. It would be nice if there was some sort of app that made it simpler, but I digress. This is already a thing. We don't need to imagine it, but again, they're pitching it to people who don't play VR. This really was not a pitch to VR players.
Hey, wait, where is Naomi?
Let's call her.
Naomi!
Hey, should we deal you in?
Hey. Sorry, I'm running late, but you gotta see what we're checking.
What just happened there, I've literally just pressed the menu on Oculus to bring up my desktop screen so I can click on both Streamlabs and Discord. We can already do this. Now, we can't do it in the virtual space. That would take integration on a single platform. I don't want all my apps on a single platform because it means if one guy wants to ban me from it, I am fucked. So since I say offensive things, what can I say? I'm an edgy boy.
Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one.
Hold up. Facebook. Privacy and safety is a joke. Like, not once have they not been caught out big scummy pieces of shit and stealing your data. This is a crock of shit. They've brought it up because everyone's going to bring it up. But no, they can preach it all they want. They're not going to give a shit over to privacy and safety. Just like they're saying, oh, we're not trying to control the market anymore. Look, we have documents from 2018 that said they were trying to control the market for VR, which is what we've seen all the way through. Now that they realize they can't afford it all, they're suddenly saying, we're going to collaborate with everyone, which you'll see later in this trailer. It's a load of crock shit.
You'll get to decide when you want to be with other people, when you want to block someone from appearing in your space, or when you want to take a break and teleport to a private bubble to be alone. You're going to be able to bring things from the physical world into the...
Again, VRChat, home worlds, private invites, super easy. It's, again, he's not preaching to VR players, he's preaching to new people who don't understand what the fucking internet is. Like, I've seen so much coverage of Metaverse I've researched for my own video, talking about the dangers of Facebook. Most people who are commenting on Metaverse right now know nothing about current VR technology.
The metaverse. Almost any type of media that can be represented digitally, photos, videos, art, music, movies, books, games, you name it. And lots of things that are physical today, like screens, will just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't need a physical TV, it'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world. And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the physical world as holograms in augmented reality too. One part of this is Horizon.
So his pitch here about, bringing the physical items into VR, it's a very stupid pitch. Yes, we can do it already, but you're looking at paying someone to model everything. And then, yes, sure, they're telling people they'll model every single item, but I doubt it's really going to happen. It might happen as things evolve or companies will do it, but it is the most tedious, annoying thing and people are not going to pay for it. There's no real point. Like, there's a lot of things I can get right now, like guns, suits, hats, all sorts of items. I can build entire worlds if I went looking for it. But they're mostly just key things. Like I went looking for a dump pouch because I'm just that autistic. I couldn't find one after days. But this whole thing about bringing things into virtual reality is going to be expensive because it's not where you just choose something and you scan it into the game. You know, the way this works is not the way modeling works. It's going to have to be, maybe you scan a QR code which sends you to a website to buy that asset to put it into your game. And it's going to be a pain in the ass. But the whole digital items of things, no, fuck you. I personally like having books that are physical. I like having physical items that won't get yeeted from me if I get banned from your game. A little tirade. Actually, this is a really dangerous thing. But I'll touch on when I get touched on NFTs later.
We've just called it home until now because it's been missing something very important: people. Soon, we're going to be introducing a social version of home, where you can invite your friends to join you as avatars. You'll be able to hang out, watch videos together, and...
Like I said, it's shitty VRChat. This whole thing is like, you have a home and you invite friends and you play games. We do some VRChat nearly every fucking day, whether it's what exploring, whether it's going to roleplay groups, whether it's playing in games. Now, there is an inconvenience of that you can't just drop a portal and play Pavlov and jump from it, but then you have Steam, where you literally just boot up your Steam home, boot up the game, invite your friends like every other fucking game. I'm going to repeat this a lot here. This is not aimed at VR gamers, and especially not anyone who knows about VR and plays it a lot. It's shitty VRChat. It really is. That avatar looks absolute garbage. If they try to restrict avatar uploads, which they most likely will, because Facebook restricts a lot, including memes. I get banned for an edgy meme from 3 years ago. I got a notification of it taken down. It was 3 years old. I completely forgot about it. I don't use Facebook, but they still get taken down. So a lot of content will get censored. Actually, on that topic, Resident Evil 4 sexual content, like the little bits of floating you see in that game, all got taken out of the Oculus release for it. So TD avatars like this or anything sexual will just get yeeted and won't exist on the platform. So I'm having troubles with my left controller. It just won't exist on the platform. Facebook will definitely try to control it if they have the metaverse. But I digress. We'll continue on with this.
Horizon is designed to make it possible for everyone to create, and we're already seeing people build some really interesting experiences, from creating new games together to throwing surprise parties in VR that family and friends around the world can join. Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote, and...
So, just going to pause here again. This is actually a cool idea. It's a very simplified way of building things. We actually have seen this with certain game scriptings for simple games that Pull and Plug has there for Fireworks. That is a system that's been invented and getting a little bit more complex over the years, but it's a really cool way of getting people who don't really have the skills to do it. And I'd love to see that as an update to VRChat actually, because VRChat has a lot of awesome stuff here already. Maybe it does. I haven't really looked into Udon. I'm a little special. But I might look into that as I decide to build a world, because I want to build my own sets sooner or later. But this actually is a cool idea. I think other games will probably end up doing it better, but time will tell.
And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants. And as we've focused more on work, and frankly, as we've heard your feedback more broadly, we're working on making it so you can log into Quest with an account other than your personal Facebook account. We're starting to test support for work accounts soon, and we're working on making a broader shift here within the next year. I know this is a big deal.
So, touch on that. Notice it wasn't just any account. Well, a shift for work accounts. Specifically, separate accounts for your working and your game, which still doesn't help the fundamental problem. Now, I'll discuss this as I make my Facebook Metaverse problem video, but there's a very big danger of connecting your Facebook account to the rest of your life, because as you have cancel culture, something said online can really fuck you up, and more companies are searching your Facebook accounts before they hire you. So, this is a very dangerous way of creating control and censorship. But I'll be going into more detail of that there. But as we see there, they're only really adding work accounts. They're not freeing you from the Facebook ecosystem. The whole point of the metaverse is to trap you in the ecosystem right now. It's why they're buying exclusives, it's why they're making the headsets super cheap, and it's why they make you put your goddamn Facebook account link to it. It's a problem. Oh, actually, I'll also touch on AR on a more positive note, which I do actually make a dedicated video in the future of AR because I think it's really awesome technology. But as you see there, the architect pulls up to look at the plans, and there's other videos that show a bit more detail. I think we will see certain things like that when it comes to architecture. I also think we'll probably see it for things like squad training or unit cohesion as the US Army kind of goes more into AR technology, which they've already started doing, which is really cool. And there's some really fun stuff they can make there from an artistic standpoint. Like people making character models for games can use AR to look it up, see what details they want to change. There's a big future potential there. But I don't think Facebook is the future for that. I digress.
For a lot of people, not everyone wants their
I've been
social
watching
media
too much Jay's
profile
2
linked
cents.
to all these other experiences, and I get that, especially as the metaverse expands. And I'll share more about that later. But I'm genuinely optimistic about work in the metaverse.
So, as I was saying on Facebook, he says, I understand people don't want their social media account to it. I'll get to that later. He doesn't, by the way. He doesn't get to it later. You still have to link your Facebook account to it. So, yeah, he just dodges the question.
Giving people access to jobs in more places, no matter where they live, will be a big deal for spreading opportunity to more people. Dropping our daily commutes will mean less time stuck in traffic and more time doing things that matter. And it'll be good for the environment. We plan to continue to either...
Okay. This sales pitch only likes office jobs. There are too many jobs people still have to go out and they still have to deal with all this shit. So it's great if you're working in an office, or it's great if you're doing coding. But even then, there's a lot of jobs where it's not going to affect it at all. And there's also a bigger social problem with it too, because we're humans. We need to connect with people. And I think working from home is actually going to affect people's mental health. I think for many people, it will also probably affect their ability to do their job. Like, how many people who are out there who are artists say they're going to draw, they're going to write their book, and as soon as they get home, they procrastinate like a motherfucker. So, definitely I've worked from home. I don't think it's going to become a permanent thing personally. There's plenty of people probably would want it to, but I think there's going to be some broader effects we're not going to realize until a few years down the line, and I also think most jobs physically just can't do it. Alright, to the next point.
subsidize our devices or sell them at cost to make them available to more people. We'll continue supporting sideloading and link.
Yes, to get it to more people, not to undercut the competition so no one else can make a budget headset. And that's what this is. That's what it really is. That's what's been this entire time. They've been selling it. They've been selling it under cost, so then they can make you on their platform, Oculus, buy exclusive games that you'll buy games on their platform and stay on that platform, and then you'll buy apps and you'll watch ads because they've already started inserting ads in the games like Blaston until it got taken off. They're not doing this for you. They're doing it for their own damn profit. When it comes to cordless VR, they have 90% of the industry. I think it should be more than that, but I think 90% is the last I heard. But they're doing it so no other competition can do it. Every headset going out right now is at the high tier mark. Like HTC Vive, Valve Index, HP's actually pretty medium, but all the headsets coming out right now are not lower. They're all going up in price and trying to create more features because Facebook has just cut everyone off at the legs. No one can beat Facebook when their profit has to come from the product and not everything else around it. It's anti-consumer, and currently there is a court case going on. They got thrown out because the judges did a shit job getting their evidence, but they will be coming back for a round 2. And I hope they get their shit together because Facebook needs to get shut down, or at least separated from Oculus. So that way we can actually have competition and better, cheaper headsets. I'm very passionate about it. It pisses me off because I have friends trying to get into VR, and Oculus is basically the only option because every new headset's more expensive. Facebook has made sure that only the people trying to get into VR can only buy them. And I have friends who are moral and they don't want to support Facebook. They don't want to support the monopolization. And so they're stuck right now. Fuck Facebook. Now, that being said, if you want to buy an Oculus Quest 2, it is a good headset. And hey, maybe if you buy, my recommendation if you're going to buy a headset, buy the Quest 2 and then keep all your games on Steam. Because that headset can be bricked. If you do something get banned on Facebook, you lost your headset. You've lost all your games. So, get the headset, buy the games on Steam. If you do something that gets you banned off Facebook, like says only 2 genders, because that gets you banned now, you'll at least have your games, and you'll buy a new headset from a different company, because you now know you enjoy VR. It's a very good introductory headset. I do recommend getting off it when you can, once you know you really want better VR experiences. But it works, it does a really good job for what it is the best headset you can get. Credit where credit's due. It just has a shit ton of scummy practices connected to it. A shit ton of scummy practices connected to it. So, let's keep going on with the video before I continue down this tirade.
Linking to PCs, so consumers and developers have choice, rather than forcing them to use the Quest Store to find apps or reach customers. And we'll aim to offer developer and creator services with low fees in as many cases as possible, so we can maximize the overall creator economy, while recognizing that to keep investing in this future, we'll need to keep some fees higher for some period to make sure that we don't lose too much money on this.
So, one thing I want to talk about right now is he's talking about not charging fees to put things into the ecosystem. VRChat, for example, there's no fees. If you buy from booths.pm, which you can use assets from there for anything, you can put into VRChat, no problem. In this already metaverse that exists, which we need to come up with a new name for that. I agree with Thrill Seeker there. But there's no fees for that. Someone wants to develop something for this or works in coding, there's no fees. It's just simple upload. Metaverse is going to do that. And that's a problem. Because, especially later on, they talk about bringing, earlier spoke about bringing items into the game, and then later on they talk about new clothes and avatar customization. What it sounds like here is they're going to make that you have to try and put it onto the platform, work it on this platform, and there'll be a fee for it, so they can make their money out of it. Well, that's going to suck for people making this stuff. Now, Boo.pm probably does have its fees, but you're going from there onto the Facebook platform, and you're probably getting more and more fees the further down the line it goes. And we don't know how Facebook's going to fund keeping everything open, how the service is going to work, but Facebook is centering on getting as much money from the system as possible. And that's really concerning, because we've seen how GTA works, Game Shark cards. Think Facebook's any different? No.
I mean, the human hand is an engineering marvel, and bringing hands into VR was no easy feat. It required a lot of collaboration against product, design, research, but we continue to improve that product, finding new ways to navigate with gestures and interact with VR. So today, we're introducing the Interaction SDK, a library of modular components that will make it easy to add hand interactions to your apps.
That's pretty exciting.
But next year, we are releasing a new product that'll push the...
So actually, hand tracking, just using your hands, is a really cool thing Facebook has innovated on, and maybe we'll see it in the future. I don't think we will. I think we'll see it in some place. Maybe we'll do it in social VR, because it's not that important, so you can wave each other, gesture towards each other, probably get used in that sort of scenario. But there's a big section of VR that will be doing something that requires something a bit more consistent and precise. And that's buttons. Buttons work great, so I think we'll still see the controller for a very long time, although the technology is really cool. I think best we'll probably end up seeing is actual like gloves, like the Nintendo Power Glove, where there'll be a bunch of sensors and trackers on it, so we can use that precisely. I think we've actually already seen it, well, like mocap suits of the gloves. I think that's where it'll end up going in the future. Budget mocap gloves, basically, to interact with the world. And I doubt Facebook's going to be the one that does that.
Yeah, sure. There's a ton of new tech going into Cambria. For example, your avatar will be able to make natural eye contact and reflect your facial expressions in real time. This way, people you're interacting with will have a real sense of how you're actually feeling. It does.
Eye contact Yeah, technically they're doing the correct thing there. We already have eye tracking technology, facial tracking technology from HTC Vive. VRChat just does it for a very simple plugin with your avatars that does eye tracking, so it looks at everyone. And it's not quite precise, but it's really good enough when you're facing someone and looking at them. You're making eye contact. It doesn't really precise that you're only ever looking at one person. It still feels very connected. One thing that this kind of ignores, I still don't get my emotes adjusted. A lot of people who play VRChat have social issues, and especially play VR, and this facial tracking technology is kind of a detriment. A lot of them use the fact that they can hide their emotions and the way they're expressing themselves to get over it and get over those fears, and it's a really big benefit to them. Metaverse does this. It should be an option they can turn on and off. There's also a bunch of scary stuff to do with data mining, but I will cover that in my Facebook is terrifying video, not this one, because we'll be here all fucking day. But this is a feature that it's kind of scary. It works in some places, it doesn't work in others. It's catch-22. But it really should be an option and not a necessity.
And today, I want to show you an experience that we've been working on for Project
Okay, there's a thing here missing.
which is the codename for our first full...
Oh, get fucked. Okay, so I actually have to find the whole damn thing now, which I did not want to do. Because there's a few things missing. Like when it's meant AR, going constant with other people, dinosaurs. I didn't want to do this. I was trying to avoid this, chat. I was trying to avoid this because Facebook sucks, and I didn't want to sit through a 9-minute fucking video in VR to record this. I'll be back in a minute, and I'm getting the rum. I'm not sitting through an hour of Facebook bullshit without rum. I'm getting drunk for this.
When I send my parents a video of my kids, they're gonna feel like they're right in the moment with us, not peering.
I'm assuming anyone who's watched this has played VRChat and other VR games, so I'm just gonna skip ahead a bit because this is full of shit, and I've kind of already covered this enough. This whole pitch is because this is not aimed at VR players. This is aimed at people who have never touched a VR headset or have never watched a VR video. Oh god, it's aimed at boomers. Ugh, boomers in VR. Please God, no.
Koi fish that fly? That's new.
This is wild.
No, it's not. I see this in VR. This is not fucking new. This already exists in VR. God damn it. Ah, Jesus.
Hey, next, there are avatars. And that's how we're going to represent ourselves in the metaverse. Avatars will be as common as profile pictures today, but instead of a static image, they're going to be living 3D representations of you. Your expressions, your gestures, that are going to make interactions much richer than anything that's possible online today. You'll probably have a photorealistic avatar for work, a stylized one for hanging out, and maybe even a fantasy one for gaming. You're going to have a wardrobe of virtual clothes for different occasions, designed by different creators and from different apps and experiences. Importantly, you should be able to bring your avatar and digital items across different apps and experiences.
Most already have. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but Booth.pm is one of the many websites you can get assets from. A lot of places you can get ripped assets from video games. There are other assets like Sketchfab where you can buy things, put that into your avatar in Unity, upload it to VRChat. Now, the unique part here is going from app to app to app with the same avatar. I don't think it's going to happen. It'll happen with social games. There's probably some issues with it because every game's going to have different coding unless they're all using a Facebook standard, which means most likely they're using a platform. And so it's multiple, it would be like Worlds and VRChat. It would be an app within the platform that's standardized so everything will connect properly. That's the best way for that to work. Again, we're not that far from it. VRChat already does it, but better. I digress. I'm going to continue. There's plenty of... don't know what Facebook's doing here. It's literally just shitty VRChat. It really, really is.
Experiences in the metaverse. Beyond avatars, there is your home space. You're going to be able to design it to look the way you want, maybe put up your own pictures and videos and store your digital goods. You're going to be able to invite people over, play games and hang out. You'll also even have a home office where you can work. Your home is your personal space from which you can teleport to anywhere you want.
It's just shitty
Now,
VR
speaking
chat.
of
That's the
teleporting,
problem with this.
there are going to be all kinds of different
fucking
spaces that
saying.
people make.
Shitty
Rooms like
VR
the ones
chat.
that we just saw, but also games and whole worlds that you can teleport in and out of whenever you want. Teleporting around the metaverse is going to be like clicking a link on the internet. It's an open standard. In order to unlock the potential of the metaverse, there needs to be interoperability. And that goes beyond just taking your avatar and digital items across different apps and experiences, which we are already building an API to support. You want to know that when you buy something or create something, that your items will be useful in a lot of contexts and you're not going to be locked into one world or platform. You want to know that you own your items, not a platform. Now, this is going to require not just technical work, like some of the important projects that are going on around crypto and NFTs in the community.
So, that's great and all, till you get banned. You get banned from all those platforms, which is going to be easy, because we're already seeing it more and more. It doesn't matter. Digital items are basically useless if you get banned from a platform. And most likely, because we're going through a metaverse that is being built by Facebook, they all have the same terms of service. So you get banned of one, you get banned of the rest. I'm being cynical, but I don't think so. And that's just one of the problems. But everything here he's pitched so far already exists in VRChat, which is a platform. I'll give it that. But you're making your account come here. Unlike Facebook right now, we have to have a fucking verified Facebook account. And sometimes even sending your license in isn't good enough. So, we can continue here, but everything he's pitched already exists. Except going across multiple platforms. And technically you can still get your stuff from this game and upload it to Chill Out VR. That's just a matter of if a game lets you upload content. At the moment, it's not a smooth transition, but it's a transition that can be done. I think what Facebook's trying to pitch here is, if I'm in this avatar, I can play Pavlov and still be in this avatar. But that ends up fucking with game balance, so I don't think we'll end up seeing that outside of social VR. When it comes to video games, because of how well they're made for balancing, I don't think we're going to see any of that. Anyway, continuing to the next part. Oh god, I want to fucking die. I'm getting some beer.
And these are some of the basic concepts for the metaverse. And while this may sound like...
I'm going to pause this right here, because it's perfect, right? Presence, VR already has that. Avatars, VRChat. And even Chill Out VR. Home space, again, Steam and Oculus already have that, so does VRChat. Teleporting. Technically, booting a game from your Steam VR does that. Again, VRChat, you can drop a portal, or you can go for a portal that you can join that world. Interoperability, which is cross-platform stuff, which I already discussed. Privacy and safety is a joke. Virtual goods I touched on earlier. Natural interfaces, that's just developing good UI. That depends on the person making it.
science fiction.
Again, all this is VRChat, but shitty. Because it's going to be Facebook, which means they're not going to have the creative freedoms that VRChat has created. I'm going to go on a tangent here real quick. Lots of controls that's fucking me up. One of the best parts about VRChat is how much the community has just been left alone. As much as they're like the developers, most of them have just gone, look, make your own stuff, don't break TOS, and that's it. People still break TOS all the time, but other than my point, Facebook's not my hands off. It doesn't work for their model either. It doesn't work for their monetary model. It doesn't work for their philosophy. They're not going to be hands off. Can my control please work? They're not going to be hands off. So we're not going to see the beauty that we create from the community in VRChat. So, it doesn't matter what they say. Private safety is a joke. So is everything else. It's going to be a shitty VR. Especially since a lot of this is giving people something like Forge Mode from Halo to build their worlds, which isn't going to really create much creativity. Everyone's going to have a world. Cool. Be a real pain in the ass to find really good worlds, though.
Imagine your best friend is at a concert somewhere across the world. What if you could be there with her?
I'm packing all my sneakers. I never had a car.
Yo. You're here.
Okay, I'm going to touch this before it goes on. I have seen someone comment that's like, I think it's weird you're talking to someone who's not there. People talk on their phones all the fucking time through headsets. Okay, it's going to be a problem. AR glass is pretty cool. A problem here with transmission rates, especially ping and distance. The biggest problem I see though is copyright tickets. These events are expensive. They can only pack so many people in physically, and there's a premium cost for that. But if everyone can just bring in a whole party of friends, like people go to these things together, right? A whole group. Why would you do that when one person can go, everyone else gets an AR glasses and hangs out? Now, there's going to be a problem with transmission of the feeling there, although VRChat has already gone into that. Go off the point to the next point. Anyway, you get problems with things like audio and such. It's not going to be the greatest experience. But how are people going to work around this monetarily? Because obviously people who are hosting these events, doing concerts, are doing it for monetary reasons. Sure, the fans are showing up, but how many people are going to get the show for free? And that's really going to disincentivize people buying tickets. Because if one friend's going, it's not them going, oh, I'm missing out, I don't have this experience. They can just go in for free. So are they going to control AR glasses? Are they going to ban them from concerts? And I think that's probably more likely what's going to happen. They'll ban them from concerts. But this isn't a realistic future. But, talking about VRChat, underground rave scenes exist. There are entire worlds dedicated to it. There's communities dedicated to getting real DJs who are just starting off, or a bit more experience, creating their own playlist, and they play whole DJs. They play whole sets. They do a whole rave night in VRChat in these custom worlds, and you'll get dozens of people in there. And StraszFilms does a very good video essay on this, talking about this presence and the feeling of it. As someone who's gone to a lot of raves, this exists in VR and works quite well in VR too, while also being the presence of your own home, and it's free. It's been built by the community, and that's the most beautiful part of it. What we're seeing here, I don't think it's going to be illegal because it's going to cause so many problems for people who set up concerts and events. But cool idea. I don't think it's going to happen. I think what we're going to keep seeing is what VRChat's already doing. And again, Facebook's pitching a shitty VRChat.
After party passes? Yes.
Free passes? No. So, he's going to go from this, backstage you put on a VR headset to do a Metaverse pass. Or is it going to be an augmented reality where it's like, oh yeah, bring your friends in through their glasses? No. That's not going to happen. Then maybe they go back into the VR, but again, this misses the interpersonality of being a rock star. Like going and seeing your fans in the after party, or being with other musicians in the after party. No. This is stupid. It's a sales pitch to get you to buy more tech. It's not going to what happens when it works out. For people who are dedicated, like I was saying, the DJs in VRChat doing raves, it's entirely possible because they're already on a digital platform. If you're already on a digital platform, you may as well have your after party on a digital platform. And after parties, most of the time they're invite only anyway. So it's we're not going to see these big events here. Anyway, I digress. Continuing.
Hey, check this out. Charity auction happening. Oh, there's swag.
And when you go to the after party, you could connect with other fans, hear new versions of your favorite songs, and check out the merch that just...
Okay, this merch thing, the only way it would work is if there is standardization of avatars and avatar bodies. Because if you've gone through both, because you've tried to create avatars like I have, having custom avatar and all, every single one either takes a lot of adjustment to get fit onto your avatar and its body, or you have to buy one that's specifically already been adjusted to fit onto your avatar and its body. So it will just go on simply. So at most, this merch might be fitted to specifically Facebook avatars, and that's it. Some people have to buy the assets and modify them, and that even depends if the copyright allows you to modify it. Because big companies don't like it when you start touching their shit. So I don't think this is going to take off either. But we shall continue. Also, I want to comment on the dinosaur. I saw like two guys who apparently work at finance. I don't think we're going to see dinosaurs at a party. That's weird. You clearly have not been at VRChat. I have seen so much weirder shit in this game, and it's wonderful. Anyway, let's keep going. Actually, another thing I'll touch on. You see they're buying the NFTs here. VRChat has something called the virtual market, which is literally a world gets created, a bunch of people who create assets and avatars and such will put the items in there for you to try on, and then you can go and buy the rights to use it on your avatar. It varies in price, but it's an interesting thing that's already existing in the market. And apparently even companies like Coca-Cola are sponsoring these markets in VRChat, which is awesome. So we probably will see more digital media that's being sold like that, but not the way it's being displayed here.
For creators to connect different physical locations into cohesive augmented reality storytelling experiences, like guided tours or scavenger hunts. We're also building a Horizon marketplace, where creators can sell and share 3D digital items. And our hope is that this will enable a lot more commerce and help grow the overall metaverse economy. Because at the end of the day, it is really the creators and developers who are going to build the metaverse and make this real. And to make sure that...
For people who don't know, this sounds really good. For people who do know, because they're like me and have gone looking for 3D assets, this marketplace exists. It's out there, and it's not hard to find, and there are dozens of places you can get stuff from. Let alone the free stuff you can get. The reason Facebook's making their own place is so they can standardize it and they can get their fees from it to profit from it. That's all. So because they think it's a good idea, it's because there's money in it. The asset market already exists, and people who create their own stuff, if it's not super simplified like a GTA, where like, oh, I can slap that t-shirt on my avatar, is super rare. It's a very low number. Anyway, I'm going to continue on now. It really is just VRChat, but corporate and bland. Like, we're being sold the future of VR right now, and it sucks.
People actually follow the space would say it's about gaming. And that's because gaming provides many of the most immersive experiences, and it is the biggest entertainment industry by far. Gaming in the metaverse is going to span from immersive experiences.
It's also because the metaverse is about escaping reality. You weren't supposed to work in the fucking metaverse. You're supposed to use it because the reality sucked. You're in a dystopia. Everything made you want to fucking blow your brains out. So you went to the metaverse to escape. It was pure escapism. Now, part of those stories were always how it got corrupted by corporates. And look at this. We have a metaverse that exists and is already becoming bigger and bigger as VR gets bigger. And our corporates try and step in and take over. Wow. Didn't read this in a book. Anyway, yes. Gaming is a big part of it. I think we'll see education come out too. I think we'll see, especially museums, recreating certain events or certain scenes to really help people engage with it and learn a lot of history, especially forgotten history. I think that'd be a really cool way for VR technology and AR technology to be used. Time will tell with that, but I think it'd be a really interesting way. Showing Roman architecture, showing how battles were fought in certain periods of time, showing the way soldiers were dressed and how they operated, because a lot of people, as we're seeing with Call of Duty Vanguard and such, are taking modern firearms tactics and then taking them back to World War II, which that was not the doctrine. And I also think, like, seeing World War II, seeing events like the Blitzkrieg and just watching it in VR or AR were a really interesting way of explaining it to kids. I think it's anyone. I think anyone who's interested in World War II will find that a very engaging way of learning about the Blitzkrieg tactics, which weren't called Blitzkrieg till later on. That wasn't originally their name. It was just a tactic they did that later on got called that. Anyway, continuing on, but there's a lot of cool stuff that can be done with VR and AR technology.
In new ways.
So, Barcelona, huh?
Well, it's not New York, but I like it.
New York misses you.
What's that?
I said, let me put my game face on so I can beat you.
Okay. Check.
I gotta try another game face next time.
Maybe you'll go head-to-head with players from around the world.
Okay. I'm just going to touch off here. So, chess works perfectly fine. Checkers works perfectly fine. Things like tennis things like basketball, which we see later. No, there's a problem with latency. If you're from another fucking state, let alone another country, I know this is an Australian because I get fucked in every game due to latency, you are not going to be able to competitively play these games. Now, tennis is one thing, you're knocking your hands back and forth like you're playing tennis in holograms. Basketball's a little fucking weird. And we talk about hit registration and a bunch of other things. Games already struggle with this. Holograms and AR technology are not going to recreate this. And I don't think if we're going to have basketball holograms, I don't think it's going to be AR glasses. I think if anything, it'll be like hologram projectors in basketball fields. I think that's how it'll end up being, so that we can have a dedicated server, funny enough. But I don't think it'll take off. Honestly, it really, there's no real reason for it. Anyone who plays basketball is doing it because they want to interactivity with other people. Like, half of basketball is positioning yourself so someone else can't get to the ball. Holograms mean you just put your hand through the ball. It happens to VRChat all the time. It's just not going to work. Same with football and soccer. There is so much active sport games that just don't work. Works fine with board games, but VRChat does board games. It does, it does Texas Hold'em. It solves all those problems. It doesn't really need to happen. I don't think it's going to take off. But continuing onwards.
Gaming is how a lot of people are going to step into the metaverse for the first time. It already has some of the most fully built out digital goods and the most active creator and developer communities, and major platforms like Epic are working to build out the metaverse, starting with gaming. For our part, we're heavily investing in building a healthy VR and AR ecosystem, so the game studios can keep building and gaming.
Okay, I want to touch on this too. He's pitching how he's well a bunch of game studios. Healthy VR. Meanwhile, he's censoring games. And this is a problem. It always starts off small. Resident Evil 4, I touched on it a little bit earlier. But all the flirty dialogue and it got censored. And sure, sexual themes. But how long till other themes get censored and lowered down because family friendly or trying to get access to more people or due to the cancel culture, the current politics? And we saw GTA actually as well. A character who was supposed to be a caricature and a shitty person, they removed the Confederate flag and a couple of other things. But the point here being is they're already removing and censoring older games. And it's going to keep happening and it's going to get worse. If Facebook keeps buying out games, it keeps having the ability to dictate these things. And it's really starting it off now. How many games we can see get butchered? I don't know. But that's not healthy. They're fucking with someone's creativity and what they want to do because it hurts your feelings. It's how you destroy art. It's why everything is so goddamn mediocre now. Again, this is something that I will be touching off when I really go into eels of Facebook, but it bothers the fuck out of me. I am very free speech. I am very pro artistic integrity. And pro artistic expression too. I'm very pro artistic expression. There are things that I hate. I'll read over here as an example. It is literal revenge, rape, fantasy porn. I hate it. It's popular with women right now for some reason. 60% viewership is women. I hate that it exists. It goes against everything it is. It makes me sick to my gut. Seeing it, I'm never going to call for it to be censored. I'm never going to call for it to be taken down. Should it be put in an adult time slot if it's on TV? Yes. Should there be an 18 plus warning on it? Yeah. I mean, kids are going to lie through it anyway. But that's just so you have the information to choose from it. And so, in this case, TV, so kids aren't accidentally exposed to it. They're looking for it, you can't stop that. But no, I'm not going to call for that to be censored as much as I don't like it. Like Shota, as an Shota and Lolly. I really don't like it. I'm very uncomfortable with it. I'm not going to call for it to be censored. I'm not going to call for a ban. There is some research on that says it helps with pedophiles, some says it makes it worse. It's still heavily debated. But fundamentally, I believe in artistic freedom. And that means being okay with that as much as I really don't like it. Facebook doesn't believe in that. Social media companies don't believe in that. And now's the time to take a stand for it because it's just going to get worse. Let's continue on as they keep buying up more companies and continuing anti-consumer practices because it's Facebook. They have always done that.
Creators can keep creating. Now, Deb from our studios team is joining me. Deb, do you want to take us through some of the exciting games in the pipeline for Quest?
Absolutely. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to work with incredible developers like Vertigo Games, the studio behind fan favorite Arizona Sunshine.
I love Arizona Sunshine. That game basically got me and my friends through the first few months of the pandemic.
That's awesome. If you enjoyed that, Mark, I think you'll be
It is
excited
a very
that we're
short
partnering
game.
with Vertigo on 5 more great games from Deep Silver and others. We'll share more about this lineup very soon.
Nice. What else?
Okay, because as mentioned, Deep Silver. Saints Row does a lot of raunchy, controversial stuff in their games. If Deep Silver decides that they're going to do a remake like Resident Evil 4, there's going to be stuff censored in it. They're going to take certain things out. Welcome to Facebook VR. 5 studios. They mentioned the big one. Deep Silver does a lot of games. Well, used to do more games, but they're famous for Saints Row, which has always been this over-the-top caricature. Which means anything offensive in there, they're putting it out. Like the sex dolls. I bet you that gets censored. They're collecting them. Drugs will probably get censored. I know they were in Australia for Saints Row 4. Again, we're going to see things get changed for the sake of Facebook's values. Continuing onwards.
This is coming.
Well, the metaverse is constantly evolving. So one of the most important aspects will be live service games that launch updates and new downloadable content
fucking
regularly,
hate live
like
service
Echo
games.
VR, Beat Saber, Onward, Pistol Whip, and more. We're focused on this a lot right now, making sure games can build out active communities. Beat Saber has a passionate community.
Oh, I love Beat Saber.
So do I. And
Beat Saber's entire active community is modding. Without modding, that game would have flopped. No, the original songs on it, they're okay. There's a few good ones. Most of them suck. Modding is 100% the reason it's popular, especially on YouTube. Nearly every popular Beat Saber song on it is a YouTube modded map. All those songs you see from like Sabaton or Katy Perry or some weeb song you listen to are all because the modders have created the content. They've done a great job there. It is not because it's game as a service. That's just the reality of it. And Facebook, they have to allow modding, but I don't think they will. I don't think Oculus allows modding right now either. Now, we'll still find a way to mod, but it's going to demolish a lot of things, a lot of freedom and fun that people are going to have in VR and AR. To the next part, in a way. I fucking hate games as a service. I could rant about that too, but I'm not going to. Constant fucking hand adjustments in this headset.
Beat Saber just passed $100 million in lifetime revenue on Quest alone. It's a great example of a game that keeps releasing fresh content. They've actually been working on evolving the way that you interact with the tracks and feel the music. Also, the team has been working on something really cool. Check this out.
As I just saying about modding, the big reveal is a new Saber. Modders have done that already a dozen times because modders tend to actually do most innovation these days. And like VRChat right now, I'm going to complain about them. All the shit they're putting in, modders did first. Other creators did first. They're only now starting to put this shit in. And see the Beat Saber there. They just added a sword. That's it. Continuing.
I can't wait to play this. And they keep partnering with incredible artists to release new music packs all the time. Did you play the Billie Eilish music pack last month?
Yeah, a little more than I should have. I probably should have been working more on this Metaverse presentation.
Well, they have a great lineup of artists for 2022. And there's one more epic surprise before the end of the year. So stay tuned. Okay, have you played Population 1?
I mean, yeah, I love the game so much that...
For those who haven't,
You can hear in his voice there how fake that is. Like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck is Population 1, man. Like, someone tell me. That's not fake. Yeah, I love that game, man. I bet you he hasn't heard about it. He's only seen the script and gone, yep, I gotta say that line, gotta not sound like a robot. Fuck.
Population 1 is a thrilling battle royale that is only possible in VR. Since its launch at Connect last year, it has become one of the highest earning games on Quest.
It's not only possible
and
in
the
VR.
biggest multiplayer FPS on the platform. You can have up to 24 people in at once for a match. We're super excited to keep launching big updates.
You can tell this is targeted at non-gamers because 24 is made out to be big. Now for VR, 24 is big. And what's in the game isn't only VR. You could do it on desktop, but the reason it's so damn good is because VR allows you to do a lot more. And for a VR game, it is a fantastic game. I will give it that full credit. But it tells and people who don't play games and don't play VR because that is not impressive for most people. It's impressive if you're into VR, but that's it.
A lot of you are already using Quest
God,
to
he's
stay
a
fit.
fucking robot.
It lets you work out in some completely new ways. It's kind of like a Peloton, but instead of a bike, you just have your VR headset, and with it, you can do anything from boxing lessons to sword fighting to even dancing.
Just the VRChat players, you know what dancing's like in here. We've all seen dances in here, haven't we? Yeah, you've had some regrets after seeing them. But just fitness is a thing here. There's actually worlds dedicated to doing things like boxing exercises, doing squats, or physical routines. This is definitely a thing. VRChat's already done it, and Facebook is just pitching it. Because Facebook's trying to sell us our future right now, and unfortunately, the community did it better. The community already saw the future for VR and is doing it better. We're also seeing VR short films come out, which I'm very excited about. I had hoped to be doing that this year, but life got in the way. But I'm very excited to see that happening and people doing it because I miss Machinima days. They were awesome. Continuing on.
There's another exciting interaction space for VR. That's your voice. The Voice SDK lets developers integrate voice input into their games and apps so they can create new gameplay and navigation. So soon, you'll be able to jump into a FitXR workout and shake up your routine just by saying, "Surprise me." Oh, yeah, I've tried this one before.
This is old technology. Kids, Xbox connected it. Maybe the PlayStation did too. I was an Xbox guy, so I don't know. Phasmophobia's done it to have interactivity with the ghost. This isn't new technology. This is old technology, but they're making it sound like it's new because this is for people who don't play games. They don't play VR. They don't know. Anyway.
Guys, Spark AR is focused on building AR experiences that empower people to be more connected and at the same time, more present with the world around them. And creators are helping us build these experiences of today while exploring the possibilities of tomorrow. Fundamentally, we're democratizing AR creation and enabling a global community with the tools and knowledge necessary to develop the AR content and experiences that people love to use. Programs like AR.
There's a lot of buzzwords during this entire thing and saying democratizing people's ability to create AR. It already exists. They're not democratizing anything, but it sounds really good. Especially when you have Facebook that's been interfering with elections and causing a whole bunch of other problems like selling your data, tracking you, spying on you, checking your fucking messages, tracking you across platforms. This is entirely to go, hey, forget about all the terrible shit we did. We're going to hype you up with a bunch of buzzwords that sound good. Anyone says, no, there's no way Facebook interfered with elections. They secured the election by not allowing anything that was, went against a certain agenda to be displayed. And they buried the Hunter Biden story, which came from a reputable source, which normally they would use as a fact check. If you said something against New York Times, they would ban your stuff. But this time New York Times does something that kind of goes against a certain guy that they wanted and suddenly gets nuked off all social media. And then, it turned out later on that it was true. And we have polls showing that it would have affected people's voting. Had people known about what Hunter Biden's son was doing, they would have voted differently. But hey, Facebook doesn't interfere with anything. If controlling information isn't dangerous, I am going on a tangent because I have been spending a week researching for my Facebook Meta video. And this is just to try and hype people up and get them to forget about all the shit Facebook does. And it bothers me.
I'm excited about our future roadmap, but even that's still early in a journey that's going to go on for decades. Immersive all-day experiences will require a lot of novel technologies. And for the last 7 years, our research team has been working on a broad array of technologies that are necessary for these next-generation platforms. Michael Abrash leads this
He looks
team,
like a fucking robot.
and he's going to join me to talk about some of the future technology that we're developing. Hey, Michael, do you want to take everyone through our roadmap?
Sure. That covers a lot of ground, though. It's going to take about a dozen major technological breakthroughs to get to the next generation metaverse, and we're working on all of them. Displays, audio, input, haptics, hand tracking, eye tracking, mixed reality, sensors, graphics, computer vision, avatars, perceptual science, AI, and more.
Yeah, you're right. That's a lot. We probably only have time for a couple right now. You want to pick a few?
Well, I think the metaverse is really going to be first and foremost about connecting people, so I'd say let's start with avatars.
Yeah, I agree. The goal here is to have both
So a lot of their focus is social VR, which we already have. And the fact is VRChat is social VR that's been built up by the community. There's roleplay groups, there's underground exotic dancing, there's raves. There's probably many things I don't know about because VR has very, very diverse in what it has. And it goes beyond streamers, it goes beyond YouTube content, it goes beyond meme avatars. Everything here has been built by the community. Facebook wants to create VRChat, but one that works for them, not for the community. And that's what they're about to speak about now, because they're focusing on social VR. Social VR is already here. The metaverse they're talking about already exists. What they want to do is to capitalize on it and bring every new person they can to it. So that way they can make the metaverse they want. Because welcome to corporate dystopias. Oh god. This is what my status right now is. Let me double check on some dystopia. Alright, that's right. This cyberpunk dystopia sucks. Because we're heading there at record speed. Alright. Bitterness aside, I'll continue listening to them.
realistic and stylized avatars that create a deep feeling that we're present with people.
Exactly, and we've shown codec avatars before.
Well, what can your face do? Can you show us?
Well, I've always hoped you would ask me that question.
And it's a remarkable experience to see codec avatars in VR, and photorealistic avatars will be a huge breakthrough. But they're only part of the picture.
I think I'll hit the Uncanny Valley.
You're not always going to want to look exactly like yourself. That's why people shave their beards, dress up, style their hair, put on makeup, or get tattoos. And of course, you'll be able to do all of that and more in the metaverse.
So this next video shows how we're making progress on part of that with hair and skin rendering and relighting for 3D avatars.
She's going for a medical field. I think she was interested into...
Now, I want to point out this technology is still very definitely research, but it shows the really high level of fidelity that avatars are ultimately going to need to reach.
No, really shouldn't. We already have enough problem with identity theft. How much easier is that going to be where they can get a full 3D version of your face and put it on a license? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, you're asking for more problems. Then you have the problem of, so we have deepfake technology is already very a big problem to have. So when it comes to making someone speak fake issues, creating fake crime scenes. Once someone gets a 3D model of you, all they have to do is track it to an actual crime, and they can frame you for it. Like, imagine if you have a corrupt government who wants to arrest someone. All they have to do is grab that 3D model from Facebook, which they're gonna rip, just like everyone rips things in Avatar. VRChat, well, everyone, but a bunch of you will rip from a VRChat. And then just create a deepfake. And because it's a whole 3D scan of yours, it's going to be near impossible to tell. And it's corrupt government, they can just arrest you for it. They don't really give a shit. So, no, this technology really is not the correct way to go about the metaverse. I understand why they're doing it, and I think it's incredibly dangerous. I think it causes more problems than it's worth. Let alone, how are they scanning you? If it's your headset, then what are they tracking? The amount of information we're giving them for this metaverse is incredibly dangerous. If you look at Ready Player One, a shit movie, but one of the biggest things was staying anonymous. If they're doing a 3D scan on you, you're not anonymous. You're not anonymous anymore. But a lot of what Facebook's trying to do with their platform is to stop you from being anonymous. And that's terrifying.
Contrary to how this looks, this is actually not a video of the physical world. It's a 3D reconstruction of a mock apartment, which I guess
like
just
a
became
game.
clear when that bowl took off by itself.
Exactly. So what you can see here is that a researcher is moving around various objects on the right, and then on the left you can see the high-fidelity real-time rendering of the space in the moving objects on the left without the researcher. So what's critical here is that this is all happening in real time. That's what's novel here, and that's what differentiates it from CGI.
Yeah, with a bunch of tracking dots on it.
What we've seen so far is pretty awesome, but we all know what we want. We want the whole package, a full...
Again, there are allowing people to see that, think, oh wow, that's amazing, it's just having with the glasses. Anyone who knows this technology spotted the dots there. It's tracking the dots, and we already have vibe trackers and other things. It's not that hard to do it in real time now because we have things like mocap suits. We know extensively how to track things if you put the correct things on them. You're not going to have a house like this. So what's going to happen is it's going to have to try and, again, you have to scan it to get the asset, or you're going to have to create a world that has an asset similar to what you have, so that when you do pick up that bowl, it'll pick up the equivalent asset in the world. I don't think this is going to work because no one's going to bother doing that kind of tracking. Or they're going to 3D scan everything. I don't want my house on the internet. And this is the thing, is they're trying to bring your reality into your internet life. I don't want that. I want that separate. Like, most people don't want people to know their address. If someone can find your house, like if someone took a picture or a 3D scan of this house, they could look it up and find the real estate. They could find pictures from the last time this was sold because the layout would still be the same. You could reverse Google them and search it. And so there is a danger there not being talked about here. There's a lot of things being overlooked, but this whole thing is preaching mixing your offline life with your online life and making it the same. And that has a lot of problems that haven't been addressed.
Well, that's not completely true. What you're seeing is actually a rendering of my pre-recorded codec avatar. Over the past couple of years, we've made quite a bit of progress with codec avatars. My avatar can now look left, look right, look up, look down, make facial expressions.
Here, you can see Elaine is in VR on the right. You can see her view of Yasser's avatar and the reconstructed real-world space that...
He is sitting in a chamber with cameras from every single direction, sensors from every single direction, the perfect lighting. Again, this right here is to try and gain hype, to try and get investors involved, not because it's where the future's going.
And we believe that neural interfaces are going to be an important part of how we interact with AR glasses. And more specifically, EMG input from the muscles on your wrist combined with contextualized AI. It turns out...
So, neural interface can technically just mean your ability to interact with technology, but there's one other thing they could be meaning. And this is basically a chip in your brain that allows the brain activity to interact with the technology. And that's terrifying to give to a company. If someone manages to stimulate the brain in certain ways, they can create chemical responses. And as soon as you can create chemical responses, you can massively change people's personalities. Just by changing the pain. Let's say you give them a jolt of pain when they do something you don't like, you'll train that out of them. If you give them a dopamine response when they do something you like, you'll train that into them. And you give a company access with a chip to your brain, you're asking for that kind of danger. It's why I don't care what company does it, I'm not doing it. Like it's really cool sci-fi technology, but there are massive amounts of danger in that happening. Now, I don't think he's talking about this, but something I just figured I'd touch on right now. But maybe he is. Maybe I'm not cynical enough. But here we go. Like, do you really want Facebook having that kind of influence on you? God, no.
We're a company that focuses on connecting people. While most other tech companies focus on how people interact with technology, we focus on building technology so people can interact with each other. One of the reasons I started Facebook was that at the time you could use the internet to find almost anything. Information, news, movies, music, shopping, except for the thing that matters most of all, people. Today, We are seen as a social media company. But in our DNA, we are a company that builds technology to connect people. And the metaverse is the next frontier, just like social network.
He's going to waffle on about shit I don't care about, so I'm not going to bother with that. So I'm just going to do a quick summary of what the presentation is. A lot of things I'm not going to bother repeating. This presentation is selling the future. It's selling to you, and much more importantly, the investor. I need to get my Rift controller set up. Yes, I'm using a Rift. As much as I don't like Facebook, I got it pre then buy this out. But my controller is fucked. Anyway, I was about to say, wrapping this up just quickly, a lot of this is buzz. A lot of it isn't that far from the future, but they make it sound like it's futuristic so they can generate hype. It's definitely a target of people who aren't involved in the VR space already, and what I think it's much more involved with is investors. It's being targeted at the standard person, but it's hoping to attract more investors so they can get more funding for the development. That's really what this was. It was a big upsell of the future of this technology and much more how you're going to interact with it, how you're going to use it in every part of your life, which sounds great to an investor. Because an investor can invest in if you're someone and you can invest in something that's going to get used every single day and generate revenue in every single way, which is why it has such a big focus on revenue, it's going to attract investors. This wasn't meant for the average person. This was meant for people who are going to be investing in the technology of this future to get more people buying Facebook stock. That's what this was for. The rest of it was to try and generate hype and maybe sell some more Oculus Quests, sell some more games, but this was selling the future of VR. What they want for the future of VR. Because a lot of it's already here, but it's not by Facebook, it's by the community. And the community is wonderful. It's crazy, it's absurd, it's lewd, it is so many things and so many contradictions because it's people in general, people working together. It's why I love VRChat. It's why I'm starting a video series on VRChat, because it is amazing what's already been done. And a lot of it is better than what we just got shown in an hour and a half of CGI bullshit. I think one scene there was actual gameplay. The rest of it was CGI bullshit. Stuff that's already been done in VRChat and done better. But thank you for watching. This planned being an hour long because I had a lot of commentary to add. Context, commentary. Context, commentary. So I have a lot of editing to do on this. And thank you for watching. I will be doing some more stuff in VR. Like I would love to do. I have obviously the dangers of Facebook doing this and all the problems with Facebook, which I'll be going into more depth. I touched on some of it here. A lot more depth in the video coming up. I want to do one on the future of AR technology because that's going to be a lot of fun. And I have a video series on VRChat itself. I have started the first episode's already being edited. I'm got a couple more interviews to do, so it's going to be a while. But it's about the appeal of VR, why people love it, why people enjoy it, some interesting facts about it. The next one will be at VRChat, and then the phenomenon of VRChat and all the stuff in it, which I touched on some of it today. But this will be a series over a long period of time. If you want to see that, you want to see more VR technology, more technology of the future like AR, and just some of the cool stuff I've encountered, please subscribe. Please hit the like button, hit the dislike button if you can see it. It got yeeted the other day. Please comment. Thank you for watching if you got this far. Seriously. I probably rambled and repeated myself a lot. Probably said a lot of unnecessary things. But you guys have a good one. I'll see you later. K-mando Dave out.